tricks in.
Alright, what's up everybody? It's Alninio. In this video, I'm just going to be explaining to you guys how to do the Omega dodges in top. Just because I believe this is a mechanic that a lot of people are going to get stuck on as they're progging. I'm going to make more videos on some mechanics that a lot of people get stuck on so they can get past that. One of them is the Omega dodges, another is Sigma, Delta, we have P2 party synergy. But for today, we're going to talk about the Omega dodges and what I find to be the most simplest way to dodge. This is using LPDU strats, LPDU dodges, because believe it or not, there's other types of dodges from different data centers. The way they do things might be different. So remember, this is EU dodges. They can work if you do them on NA, of course, but just know that what I'm going to be demonstrating today is standard LPDU dodges. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to show you through the raid plan and through my POV to hopefully kind of grasp some of the patterns. So let's get started. Now I know this looks odd with the yellow dots. What do the yellow dots mean? Just know that the yellow dots in the Omega dodges, these are the safe spots depending what the pattern is. So remember that when you passed phase 2, and by now I assume you know phase 2 already, you know the sword, staff, sword, shield, you know what they are. So now what's going to happen in this mechanic is you're going to have either one is going to, one's going to show up here and one's going to show up here. They're always going to show opposite, right? One will appear first and then another set. I will choose a different color for the other set. Let's just go with white. This is set 2. And this would be set 1 over here. So this is set 1. Remember that whichever one first appears, that's going to be the mechanic that's going to go off first. Whatever it is. It could be male sword, shield, female staff. It could be multiple things. I'm going to explain to you every single pattern and what to do. Just know one thing. These yellow dots I'm showing here are the safe spots no matter what, based on the pattern. So you're always going to end up in one of these yellow dots, which is guaranteed safety. I'm simplifying it just like this. Edge of the arena, front of marker, close to boss. You will notice that they're in every cardinal. This means intercardinals is not an option. I mean, it can be an option if you're doing other types of dodges, but for LPDU, all the dodges are in cardinals, okay? All the safe spots will be cardinals. Just know these spots depending on the pattern, which I'll explain. And another thing I want to mention is all these dodges, whenever, let's say you end up in Charlie, your movement to the next dodge will always be 90 degrees here or here, depending on what the safe spot is, depending on the boss AoE, because the boss will have light AoE coming from it, which will indicate where you need to go. And I'll show that in the in-game POV, so it makes more sense. But just know that every dodge, if you start somewhere in any cardinal, you have to move 90 degrees. Example, I'm gonna put this red color to tell you what not to do. This is something you don't do. If you end up in Charlie, you never go past that. You never go past 90 degrees. You will always go 90 degrees every single pattern, every single situation. Wherever you start is always going to be 90 degrees, whether it's going here to here or here to here, right? So just remember, the movement is 90, and it can be like this too, of course. Just like so, you're moving 90 degrees, always 90 degrees movement. Okay, I'm going to show you the patterns, and I'm going to show you in-game POV of how I do these things. I'm going to show you 2 clips, shows the patterns. First pattern I'm going to talk about, there's 4 patterns in total, by the way, in terms of the sets. You have set 1 and set 2. We'll talk about set 1 first, so you know what you need to do, and it could be any pattern. So I'm going to explain the patterns now. We'll go first over staff plus sword. If you know from phase 2, staff plus sword. This right here as you can see, is female, and this is male. Okay, so we have female and male. Female is doing staff, which is a plus attack, and male is doing the sword, which is an AoE around him. The blue cone AoE that's happening here is coming from the boss. That's the area of damage that's going to happen. The boss will light up. The path that lights up will always be like north, south is a safe spot, or west, east. It's going to be one of those. So you have to look at the boss, see which one glows, and that's indicating the safe spot. Example, if it glows north and south, west and east is dangerous. You cannot enter west and east. So your options are north and south. Here's how to always do this. Always go to male side by default, unless the pattern is skates plus sword. If it's skates plus sword, you always go to female. Okay? So remember, always start male. So you notice, male spawned with sword, female spawned with staff. Okay? I'm gonna be demonstrating. Let's say I am here. I am ninja, of course, because I got Shikuchi. So I'm the ninja. All right. Male and female are here. And since I start male initially, okay, I'm gonna wait till the boss shows the glow. Okay, he showed the glow, right? North and south, let's say. The glow north and south indicates that now I'm gonna be playing north. East is not an option because it's the cone. So I go north to the edge. This pattern, male, female staff, is towards the edge. So this right here is safe. This is the safe spot. And you can go a little bit more forward, but I want to simplify this guide, and I don't want to make it like, oh, you can go a little bit more and whatever. On the edge is 100% guaranteed safety. Just think of it like this. Either you go to the edge, front of the marker that's here, or close to the boss, depending on the pattern. In this pattern, when if it's staff plus sword, edge of the cardinal is safe. Remember where the boss is glowing. So this is the pattern for staff plus sword, okay? Next up, I'm going to be talking about staff plus shield. Staff plus shield, you notice that inside the shield has its safe spots. And I have to actually make this a little bit bigger, but it's not the exact perfect AoE, but this is the best I could draw it. But I'm just going to demonstrate to you, okay? I'm the ninja, right? I am here, right? This is male. And this is female. Female staff, male shield. So as ninja here, north and south glows. All right, remember, we start towards male. We start towards male, and now we decide either we're going to go here or here, north or east. Always either left or right of male, depending on the pattern, depending on the boss laser's lighting showing up, right? Once the laser lighting shows up, let's just assume west and east is dangerous, so north is our option. North, front of marker is safe. I know it's in the AoE here, but I can't really circle it. I'll expand it like this a little bit more so it's a little bit clearer. But essentially, there's going to be a marker here for LPDU anyway. These are LPDU markers. You will be in front of the marker slightly, and you are 100% safe. So in this pattern, male plus female in front of the marker, this is safe. And then obviously after this, you're going to make your 90-degree move to the west or east depending. So you have to actually look and be sure about that. But I'm just explaining you the patterns because the second set that's going to happen is going to have a different pattern. So these are just all the patterns, okay? So we went over staff plus shield, and we went over staff plus sword, okay? Now, I'm going to be talking about skates plus shield, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this as male again. This is sword shield right here. And of course, female skates. This is female, okay? We're still assuming west and east is dangerous, okay? Let me pick up my ninja here. Okay, I am ninja, I'm going in. All right, skates plus shield. Now you might be thinking we should go towards female side because it's skates, you cannot. Again, we start male. It's male, sword, shield. We start going towards male right at the beginning because we know around male is going to be safe. Sword and shield. Okay? So, if it's female and male, sword, shield, if it's skates, sorry, you're going to go closer to the boss. So you're going to end up here because it's skates, you have to be more inwards. And because you have to be more inwards, and remember this sword, this shield will actually be safe. I know it might not seem like it in the raid plan, but it is safe to be standing right here. Female will go off like this. Male sword shield goes off. You are right here. This is guaranteed safety. Right here is safe. Perfecto. Just like that. So this pattern is skates plus shield. I'm going to show you the last pattern now that can happen. The final pattern is skates and sword. Okay, so once again, this is male and this is female. This is the only pattern where you start running towards female in the beginning. Sword and shield and skates always go towards female in here. So we go towards female and wait for the laser lights to show up. Okay, and then we're going to go either here or here. Skates is always you going in. Remember, these are the safe spots. Close to boss, front of marker, or edge of arena, depending on the pattern. What I'm demonstrating here is when it's skates male, inside would be safe. So we would be here or here, depending where the boss lights up its thing. So in this example, we're going to go here because the west is dangerous. It's being cleaved by the boss. So we go south, in, and then we dodge either to the west, 90 degrees, or east, 90 degrees, depending what the second set pattern is. And all you need to know is the patterns, and you just apply it and remember the 90 degrees movement. And remember the safe spots. This will guarantee safety. I'm going to showcase some POVs right now that will hopefully grasp the concept of what I'm trying to explain a lot better. This is just kind of an overview explaining the 4 patterns over here. So now I'm going to show you guys the POVs. Let's dive into it. Okay, so here we are. We're starting at Omega. This is from my stream VOD. We start. We see that it is sword and female staff. We start towards male side by default, okay? You start male side by default unless it's female skates and male sword, okay? So we go towards male and we wait. Second set shows up. We wait. Lights on the boss show up, indicating the safe spots. In this example, Delta and Beta would be considered like the places to go and look out for. Delta is not an option because we have to be around male. So east is going to be our option, and because it's sword and staff, we go to the edge of the arena. That's that pattern. So I get my Tenchijin here, right, and I go over, right, and just like that. I'll show it again. And this is what I meant by you don't have to be 100% at the edge. I'm just trying to simplify it for you. But essentially, you can be behind this marker. And you can see, this is how it looks, right? This is the sword and staff pattern. So you can be, see, if you see here behind beta marker is completely safe. I'm just trying to simplify it for you, just so you know, like, easily where to go. But yeah, you can go a little bit further, just be careful. I'm going to show you a pattern right here. So here we go. As you can see here, male sword shield spawned, and we have female staff. Remember, we always start at male and then hover around him while the second set appears and where the safe spots are. So we hover around male here by default. Remember, we always hover around male unless the pattern is skates, female, sword, male. Okay? So as you can see, I'm already next to male and I'm getting ready to get into position. Right? Waiting for the boss to show its lights. The lights showed north and south. South is guaranteed safety in the certain position that we need to go to. North is not an option because it is not around male. It has to be left or right of male. So if male is where he is right now, it would be either a delta marker, which is right here to my southwest on the screen, and Charlie. So Delta or Charlie would be safe depending where the boss shows its lasers. And in this example, the lasers showed north and south. So what we do here is we go to Charlie in front of the marker. This is guaranteed to be safe. As you can see right here, that's the sword and shield, and as you can see, in front of the marker is safe. Right after that, we have to do our 90 degrees movement. And that movement is going to be, let's look at the second set right here. The second set is, as you can see, female skates plus male sword. So we go towards female here. Remember, this is the pattern where we go towards female. We go towards female in. So remember the 90 degrees movement, right? We start towards Charlie. Which side is easier to get to with female? Remember, 90 degrees movement. We go left of the screen towards female. So sword shield goes off, going towards female in. And that's the safe spot. And just like that, see? All you need to know is just the pattern. You need to do the movement, 90 degrees movement. Learn the patterns. You'll get it just that easy. And now I'm going to show you guys another example here. Kind of go over it just so it's concrete. In this example, here I might actually go ahead and quiz you here. There is female skates, and we have sword and shield male. All right. By default, guys, which side do we start at? I'll let you guys think about it for a second, and I'll answer it now. We start at male side by default, like we explained. We always start male side unless the specific pattern is sword and female skates. If it's sword male, female skates, we start at female. All right? So here in this example, we will start at male. We're going to wait for the lights to show up. We know the second set has shown up. And as we start male, the boss lasers show north and south. So around male, we will go south in. We're not going in front of the marker, not in front of Charlie, because it's skates. So remember this pattern. Sword, shield, plus skates is in. Now, we need to do a 90 degrees movement, and I'm going to go ahead and quiz you on this one. 90 degrees movement. Right? We have sword male, female staff. Remember the rule. Which side do we go to? Do we go to beta on the right side, or do we go to delta at the left side? Where do we go to? If you answered delta, you would be correct. We would be going to delta. Now, if we go to delta and it's sword female staff, where do we go? Do we go in? Do we go in front of the marker? Or do we go behind the marker to the edge? I'll let you think about that. And the answer would be to the edge. So here's the movement. Goes off 90 degrees to delta. Going to the edge. I'm kind of panicking a little bit here because I'm Reaper. But the rule still applies. Even though I messed up here, it's alright, okay? Because I told you how it works, and I'm playing Reaper, so this is my reprog, okay? Go easy on me, alright? If I was Ninja, I would have never got hit. It's fine, because but this is a good demonstration I can show you here. If you do get hit and you get a damage down, wall it after the mechanic is over, right at the end. You don't want that damage down, it's heavy. So towards the end, just make sure you do that. In this video example, I got hit because I'm stupid and I'm reprogging Reaper, but the rule still applies on what I mentioned, and that's it. Going to go ahead and show you guys another example here. In this example, we have sword, male, staff, female. So we start at male by default. It's going to be left or right of him. Let's see what the boss does. The boss does north-south. So we're going to go north side. And because it's male, sword, staff, female, we go towards the edge of the arena or just behind the marker. This is fine. And the next set is going to be sword, male, and female skates. Sword, male, female skates is going in at beta, 90 degrees movement. So right here, 90 degrees movement to beta, in, boom, just like that. And that's the patterns, that's the ways that you want to do the mechanics, is just take your time, look at the sets, look at the patterns, look where the safe spot is, and run 90 degrees towards the safe spots, whichever pattern it is. The 3 yellow dots that we explained in our raid plan, those are the safe spots. And it can be either of them depending on the pattern. Just pretty much wanted to show you guys how the mechanic is done for Omega Dodges. I feel like this is something that I feel like not many people explain it exactly where the safe spots are, or they kind of just have an idea of it, or they just follow that one person that knows. By the way, it is a totally legitimate strategy to just follow the person that knows. But let's say, you know, you're all progging and maybe no one knows. Or let's say it's better to trust yourself, and this is why it's important to know how to do it yourself, so you don't have to run in situations where you have to follow someone to be in the right spot. Hopefully I demonstrated this well. Hopefully I demonstrated it in such a way that's gonna allow you to get those dodges right. And pretty much, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out my twitch.tv/Alninio9. Link is down in the description. If you guys want to follow me, I stream usually at nighttime. In EU time, this would be like 6 p.m. UK time. I usually go live. So please stop by, say hello, all that good stuff. It will be awesome to see you. Thank you so much for watching. And remember that nothing is true and everything is permitted. Peace out.